Hello, witches. Okay, confession time. I do not worship the moon. I do not pray to the moon. And I do not cancel my entire personality because Mercury is in retrograde or having a temper tantrum. Well, maybe sometimes I do, right? But only a little. Anyways, witches, welcome back to Witch Talk, where we have real witches, real conversations, and absolutely no pretending. We are all practicing the same way. So tonight's episode is going to be The Moon Isn't Your Boss. And yes, some people are already mad probably. And good, because let's talk about the moon, okay? Because the moon is beautiful. Look at, I got my moon here. And it's got different settings. It's one of my gifts that I got for myself. I love it. But anyways, we've got the moon. How do I want to say this? Got the whole moon in my hands. Anyways, what I want to say is the moon isn't your boss. And that's what tonight's episode is about. Yes, let's talk about the moon. The moon is beautiful. As you can see, I have it right beside me. The moon is mysterious. And guess we all know this. The moon is on your mugs, your tapestries, your mugs, or your jewelry. I already said mugs. Got mug. Oh my God, I can't even speak tonight. Are we in Mercury retrograde yet? Because if we are, oh my God, I'm already feeling it, right? Anyways, the moon is on your mugs, it's on your tapestries, it's on your jewelry, it's even on your phone case and shower curtains, and probably some of you or even have it on your underwear. But witchcraft merch departments have not known peace since the invention of the moon, let me tell you, because the moon actually is what it is to us. It's magical. And because for some of us, the moon is a goddess. The moon is a divine mother, and the moon is an ultimate authority, right? And for others, the moon is a rock in space that we aggressively project our emotions onto. We've all heard lunatic, right? It comes from the moon. Everybody goes crazy when it's a full moon. But both can be true, because historically, the moon was humanity's first calendar, right? It tracked time, it tracks seasons, it tracks cycles, it affects the tides, it's the sleep, moods. Oh my God, I can't speak tonight. It affects the tides, sleep, our moods, our hormones, and apparently everybody's ability to behave online, including my own. But in witchcraft, we use the moon as a timing system. And we can use the moon as a power amplifier. But it's a psychology trigger, and it's a big, shiny celestial vibe enhancer. So the moon does not create your magic. Let's get that straight. It boosts it. Think of it like a spiritual pre-workout, like traditionally, right? We've got the new moon that starts things. We've got the full moon that charges things. We've got the waning moon that banishes things. And then we've got the waxing that builds things. It's very neat. It's very organized. It's very Pinterest in a lot of ways, right? And that's all great. But here's why I gently and lovingly and with absolute no remorse will ruin everything. Because not all witches use the moon the same way. Some witches worship the lunar deities. My name is Aurora Moon. You guys already know that it comes from the moon. It comes from the stars. It comes from the heavens. That's where I picked my name from, Aurora Moon, right? It's something that I absolutely love. But some people, some witches, follow strict astrological timing. And some will not do a spell unless the moon is in the right phase, in the right sign, in the right house, and their cat has given spiritual consent. And that's valid. That's valid. But it's not the only way. So some witches will ask, what phase is the moon in, right? Where I, as a chaos witch, or a gray witch that practices chaos magic, I ask, am I locked in? Like, I don't work in light or dark. I'm a gray witch. I'm balanced. I work with results. And as a chaos magician, I work with rules. Well, I shouldn't say I work with rules. I don't work with rules. I'm chaos. So rules are more like strong suggestions for me. Okay, I don't treat the moon like a boss. I treat it as a tool. And I use it as such. I focus it as an anchor. I use it as an amplifier. It's a ritual enhancer, and it's a way I speak directly to my subconscious in symbols and drama. But because witchcraft is in part very fancy and spiritually aesthetic psychology, here's the secret to chaos magic. If something makes you feel more powerful, it makes you feel more powerful. And that's how belief works. That's how symbolism works. And that's how your brain works, which means the moon has power because you give it power. And not for the part that makes some people clutch their crystals. If I need to do a spell and it's the wrong moon phase, I do it anyways. And guess what? It still works. I know, scandalous, right? Call the high council of vibes, because the real engine of magic is not the moon, it's you. And here's where a lot of witches get burned out. They're trying to be perfect, waiting for the right moon phase, waiting for the right sun, waiting for the right alignment. Meanwhile, their life is on fire, and you do not lose your witch card because you missed a full moon. Magic is not a group project with the universe. And you don't need cosmic permission to change your life, right? So, do you need the moon? No, you don't. Is it useful? Absolutely. Is it gorgeous? Obviously. But would I still dramatically hold it into photos? Yeah, I would. But you are not powered by the sky. The sky is powered by you. So tell me in the comments, are you a moon phase planner witch? Or are you a vibes first, results now, we'll justify it later type witch? Right? So don't think that just doing your witchcraft in one way is the only way. We want to remember that when it comes to magic, if that is what powers you, if you want to do your spell work when it's the moon phases, okay, that's you, and do it. But if you're wanting to do a spell, don't wait. Don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect moon or the perfect setting or anything like that. Okay, because we don't need to. It doesn't come down to the moon on whether or not our magic is real or whether or not it's going to give us what we need when it comes to results, because that's not how the moon works. It's us that is the magic, and we're the one that puts our energy into that, right? So if you focus all your time on when the perfect day is going to be, when the perfect month is going to be, when the perfect moon phase is going to be, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities to do your spell work, when maybe, just maybe, that is all you needed, was that just to do it. And just believe that regardless of whether or not the moon is in the right phase or not, it's going to work. But you gotta believe it. Now, I am a gray witch, you guys know that, but I'm also a gray witch who practices chaos magic. And believe me, I've had a few witches in the past, some of you already know because you've seen it, that struggle with my magic because they think that I'm not doing it right, because I'm doing it whenever I want to. That's right. It's my practice, and I'm going to do it whenever I want to. And if I feel that I need to do a money spell on a Monday night and the moon is in, let's say the full moon, which by the way, my birthday's on Sunday and it lands on Imbolc and it's the full moon. I get the full moon on my birthday too. Hello, beautifuls. Just seeing all you ladies, or I shouldn't say all you ladies, all of you chiming in. I see Steven, I see Zelda, I see Tamara, I see Super King. What is it? Super King of the Mods. I love that. I don't know who you are because I don't recognize the name, but if I know you, just let me know. Donna, hello, Donna. I'm so happy to see you, hun. It's been such a long time since you joined our circle, but that's also probably because I've been gone for a while. And I've been gone for a while. You guys know, if you caught last week's episode, which was the first one of Witch Talk, which is now going to become a series, okay? So it's whatever your suggestion's going to be in the comments that I am going to do the next segment on. So if there's something that you want to learn, if there's something that you want to know about, if there's something that you want to discuss, then make sure you let me know in the comments below so that I can make sure that we touch on the subjects. Now, I believe it was Kimberly that asked for the moon last week. So that's why I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to bring my moon. Whose birthday is it? It's mine. And Harry Styles. I get to celebrate with Harry Styles. I actually made, guys, not going to believe this. I actually made an AI generated photo of me and Harry Styles. Because I adore him. He's so cute. He's my crush. He is. And we have the birthday on the same day. So I'm so happy. But I'm seeing all you guys here. And I love it. Linda, I've got Steven. We've got, I'm not sure if Michelle's on tonight. I tried calling her. Jessica. Is Amy on? I know Sherry's on. Katie, so nice to see you, hun. You guys are all amazing. And I see a few new faces here. Oh, I see Sage is Aura, which I know is Shelly. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. Oh, Manny, that's it, Manny. Yes, you have Thursdays off. That's amazing. I love that you can join us because I know you were missing it. How about Lynn from Ohio? Is Lynn from Ohio, or are we talking about Linda? Is it the same person? I don't know. How about Porter? I don't know if Porter knows that I'm on this because I never got a chance to talk to her. But I'm so glad that you guys are here. Do you have any questions? Let's talk about the moon. Do any of you practice through phases when you do your magic, or do you just do your magic whenever you feel like it? Because we're all different, right? And I love hearing how we all do our practices different because that's what empowers us. We don't need to do what everybody else is doing. We don't need to go by a script or a book, guys. So many people will say that you have to practice a certain way. No, you do not. And I'm going to tell you that right now from a Grey Witch perspective, from a Chaos Magician perspective. You do not need to have anybody tell you how to do your ritual. You need to change your screen name so we can recognize you. That's what it is. But you know what? I'm so glad to be back because it has been, you'll have to send her an email. Okay, Stephen, thank you. I appreciate that. Greetings, Earthling from, where we come in peace. Dragon Pisces. I love it. Yes, if you can figure it out. Yeah, right? Well, the moon is a magical is a magical thing. I didn't know what else to call it. Star. Is it a star? I think it's a star. I've always called it just a moon, right? But you do what spirit tells you, right? Exactly. Doesn't matter what time of day that you do your magic. It doesn't. It's what is perfect is when we get the inspiration to do our magic, because we're following our guidance, we're following our intuition, we're listening. And that's all our deities want us to do. Whether or not you follow a deity, whether or not you work with one or anything like that, you don't have to. It rings like a bell. but but that goes for anything that we do in our practice. Now for some of you, you may not know this, but as a chaos witch, well, I am a gray witch that practices chaos magic, but I don't believe in the threefold, guys. I don't wait. I don't worry about, I don't want to say that I don't worry about hexes and jinxes, and I don't do that stuff. But if I were to do it, don't get me wrong, I will look at it from all angles first. It's not below me. Like, I will do it if I have to, right? But it comes down to protection. And I use the moon as an amplifier for anything that I do. Remember, when it's the dark moon, if you guys don't know, because I used to be confused about the whole dark moon thing, okay? Dark moon, when you don't see a moon in the sky, that is the dark moon, new moon phase. For those of you who don't know, okay? And because a lot of people will look up in the sky and say, I don't see the moon. Well, that's because it's a new moon. And when it's a new moon, it's black. We don't see anything. And when it starts going into its phase, when it starts changing out of the new moon phase and starts working into the next phase, which I believe is waning, and then it goes waxing, then what we do is we'll see a little slight, that's when we see a very slight crescent in our moon, right? When we see that, that's when it starts going through the phases. It's always going through a phase. Always. So there's no real best time. Like, why are you in each phase? You got to remember this. It's always a month. So our full moon is going to be February 1st, my birthday. Just say if anybody needs to know. You guys should know because it always lands on Imbolc. And I celebrate Imbolc every time. But a lot of people will think that, well, with the full moon, right, it's about releasing. It's about letting go. It's about getting rid of all that extra thing. Well, it only comes around once a month. So if you're waiting to do a spell on a full moon, you get to wait a month if you missed it. Right? If you didn't get if you just missed your full moon, it's going back into the next phase. Are you going to wait that whole month before you do a spell? I don't. I get on it. If anything that I might look at, maybe, is the days of the week, is maybe the color of the candles. I do put some association into things, but it's all about intention. And being a chaotic witch is about the magic behind it, right? We don't think of that because we can be anywhere and see something and go, oh, I'm going to use that for a spell. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I just go to my apothecary, open it up, and I just pick. Oh, I want to do, let's say I want to do a money spell. Some of you might think that doing a money spell on a full moon, you're going to release it. No, I don't look at it that way. I look at it maybe as shedding old debts. I look at it as maybe shedding, things that I don't need. which then would bring in that extra money, right? But I wouldn't hold back from doing a spell just because it's a full moon. Now, depending on your intention, depending on what you're doing, you might. And if that's what you do, then that would be how you do it. Because chaos, there's no time and place. There's really no time and place. You just do your magic. And if it sticks, it's like throwing spaghetti up against the wall and hoping it's going to stick. But you're not going to know unless you try it. You don't wait that whole month before you do another spell? No, of course not. So don't worry about the moon when it comes to which phase it is, unless you're doing something specifically and you want to do it during that phase, because it's all about intention. But if you want to do a money spell right now, do a money spell right now. Don't worry about the full moon coming up, unless you're worried about the full moon coming up and you don't want to do it. But it's all about belief. It's all about what you are the power tool, right? That belief comes down to your own magic. And if you're doing a spell, you're not going in doing a spell in hopes that it's going to fail. You're going into your spell hoping that it's going to turn out to be exactly what you want. You want to reap the rewards. You want it to come in quick. You want it. So do it. Don't wait, because you might be waiting. And let's say the next moon phase, you're busy and you're like, oh, I missed the full moon. I can't do it now because now it's, past the full moon. And now we're going into the next phase. And now I got to wait a month. No. I will say that probably beginner witches and novice witches will probably do that. I don't like the term baby witch. If you've ever heard me say baby, sounds like you need help. Baby to me represents somebody who doesn't know how to take care of themselves, is always looking for help. New, beginner, novice, those are all great words to use, but you're only a baby once. So get out of that frame of mind and remind yourself of how powerful you are when it comes to working with the moon. And when it comes to chaos, and I'm only telling you from my perspective because I am a chaos witch. If you don't practice chaos magic, it's fine. If you want to go by the threefold, that's fine. That you do you, right? You do you when it comes to how you do your rituals, but don't let it stop you. I use music, I use vibrations, I use whatever I can, whatever I have on hand. I'm trying to think of an example that I had. Actually, I had a client that came to me that wanted her lover to come back to her. And you always have to be careful with these type of spells, because anything can happen when you're trying to bring somebody back, because a lot of it is, if I'm just going to say it, mind control. Okay. However, anybody you're doing a spell on still has their free will. They still have a right to use it the way that they want to do, or how they want to do it, or how they progress forward, right? But as a chaos witch, I don't think of the consequences. I don't think of that. And that's probably because there's the gray witch part of me still comes in and will say, okay, will this benefit? Will this benefit my client? Will this come back in any way? And the gray witch part of me will balance it out. I will never do a spell that is going to break up a family, put somebody at harm's or at risk with anything. That's just not the type of witch that I am. And even if I was, I would still have to balance it out, because my first go-to is healing. I won't do a protection spell on me unless I have to. Now, I do have one on myself, on my business, on my Facebook group page, and witches, that's how you know that there's a spell on it, because it's drama free. Because that was one of my intentions, was it for it not to be drama free. And we had a little bit of drama in the beginning, and we got rid of those drama people. But it's because I dedicate myself to make sure that that is a very safe and sacred space for you guys to be in, to ask any question without any judgment, because we all practice differently. And it's not fair for somebody to push their beliefs or say, well, you are doing your spell wrong because you're not practicing on the full moon, or you're not doing the full moon ritual. Okay. Do I have to? You think that I have to. Maybe for myself, I've already done it. I started off like that. I started off with just doing, my new moons. I would make sure that I did my journaling to bring in new beginnings, new experiences, new friendships. And then anything I want to release, I would do it on the full moon. But when you start growing and practicing your craft, you start realizing that you're taking up your time, because now you have to plan everything around the moon, everything around a certain time. Doing your spells in the evenings. No, you don't need to. I have two times that I do my spells, 11:11 and 1:11. And I do them during the day. I use my numerology, I use my numbers to bring in that energy for me, regardless of the moon. I don't even check with the moon phase unless I'm specifically doing something that I need the moon for. Then I might do that. But that is my own intention. That is my own magic. But I don't do it every time. It depends on what I'm needing it for. If the new moon is coming up and I want a new opportunity, then I'm going to utilize that. But if the new moon is 2 weeks from now, because a little over 2 weeks from now, and I want this done before, let's say it's a job that I'm going for, well, maybe I want to do it right now because the job's before the new moon. Am I going to wait? Do you think I should wait? Because I don't want to wait, because then that tells me I'm being controlled. That tells me that the moon becomes my boss. And I'm not employed by the moon. The moon doesn't control me. The moon amplifies me. It gives me energy because of how I use it. So don't use it in the best way that you can use it. And that's your choice. That's your choice. I've had so many arguments with people on that. I have, and some of you already know who those arguments were with. I'm not going to go there, but I don't do that. I look at all my angles. I take my time. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just open up my drawers. I go in. I grab whatever I want. Oh, I want a money spell. Oh, I need some money. I've done a spell just on the fly and had it come true within 15 minutes of money. Take it or leave it. Give it a shot. Try it. See if it works. Don't wait for the moon. Then if you want to test it out and use the moon and see how that changes. If it changes and you see results differently and you feel more powered by doing the moon at that time, then maybe that's what you should do. But you don't have to, because remember, it comes down to belief. It comes down to intention. It comes down to your practice. And the best way to practice is at your pace. At your pace. We don't want to practice at a speed that everybody is going at, because we're not like everybody else. We're not them. And if we all did everything the same, then nobody's going to be out dancing under the full moon, or everybody's going to be dancing out at the full moon. Who knows? I'm not going out there. I'm just letting you know it's going to be minus 35 tonight. Nope. Not going out there. Nope. Now, if it warms up on the full moon on my birthday and it goes up like to 16 or something like that, then yeah, I'm going to go out there and dance. But we've got like a few feet of snow here, so I don't really have a place to do it except for inside, and it's a lot warmer in here anyways. I'm just looking at some of the comments that you have. Yes, a money spell does work, which, by the way, some of you guys don't know, but some of my videos, especially the darker ones, seem to get the most attention. But my money spell is my number one spell. It's my number one spell that everybody goes to. And it was a quick little spell with a bay leaf, and it works. It works. But again, it comes down to beliefs. Now, I don't have time to do it every single day. I wish. Could you imagine? I'd be writing all these messages on, I need this, I need that sounds like I'm going to be greedy, but I'm not. We're looking to manifest. Coachy, do you need to go outside? My little puppy. Exactly. Money, money, come to me, make my dreams reality. Oh my God, Donna, you remember it. I love that. I love that. Because yes, do you have to go out? Is that what, guess what, guys? I'm being called and I'm the only one home. So I gotta take these dogs out. Give me a second. I hear you. There you guys go. Okay. It's in your little spell book. Do you have the bibbidi bobbidi boo one too? There's been a few spells that I've done that I've had results instantly. I had one, oh my goodness. And I've shared this one before because it was Brian and I that were on a phone call together. And I remember saying something about wanting to do something corporate. And within minutes, he had a phone call. I said, I want to do, maybe I'm going to try doing readings at corporate, like doing some corporate events. I'm just not sure if that's what I want to do or if it's going to be too hard for my body. And within seconds, like literally seconds, he got a phone call, and it was for a corporate event that needed 2 tarot readers. And I just happened to be on the phone with them when he ended up saying, want to take it? Sure. But I ended up not liking it. It was too hard on my body. It's, if you guys know anything of my health issues, it can be a little hard on my body doing stuff like that. So it wasn't for me. But it gave me the opportunity to at least see and test it out instead of getting myself full on into it and then not being able to get myself out of it. Right. So sometimes those little things can come around just for a moment, and they're not meant to stay because they were meant to teach or give you a lesson or, an opportunity. And you realize, yeah, you know what? I thought this was going to be perfect. I thought I was going to be a great stunt double, but you know what? No, I can't take the tumbles. So I'm going to back off and I'm going to do voice work. Something like that. You know what I mean? But that's how these spells work. And you just have to believe. And I know that I know a lot of you have said easier said than done. Yeah, it is. But once you have your first spell happen that quickly, and then it happens again, and it happens again, and it happens again. And don't get me wrong, I've had some of my spells go completely chaos. I am a chaos witch, right? However, and some of them are like to the point that I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it out because it was too heavy. However, those are the opportunities that I take to reflect on my magic. I take the opportunity to see if there was something that I could have done differently. And sometimes, you know what? I've had spells that have taken 2 years to come about, and I would sit back and go, okay, you know, why is this showing up now? But other things needed to happen in order for that big event or that big thing that needed to come through, right? If you go to the bank for money but the bank doesn't have any money, well, then you got to wait for the bank to have money, right? Sometimes your spells might make you wait. It might take a little longer because there's something else that needs to go through a process first before you get to your end results. Yes, Zelda, you have a question. Do you cast a circle with every spell you do, or is it just instances that you do feel the need to do? I do not cast a circle all the time. I don't. I fully admit that. However, with that being said, I do light a smudge stick. I will bring in a prayer. It's like, it's kind of hard for me to do a circle because I've got 2 pets. Well, I've got 3 pets, but 2 dogs that like to be as chaotic as I am, right? And it wouldn't work because I would have to constantly open and close my doors every single time. So I kind of make my whole basement where I'm downstairs, I'm doing my work. I kind of make that my big circle, even though it's not a circle, it's more like a rectangle. But I do that because that way I have free roam. So I'll take my smudge stick and I will cleanse my space all the way around. Okay. And I have a prayer that I do. And it works amazing for me. I could always post it in the group. And anybody, just if you're new here, thank you for joining. I just want to take a moment and say that if you're new here and you want to join our Facebook group, I should have the link in my description below. Also, it's a support group. So if you want to join us, if you're not on the Eastview chat, I can definitely add you to the chat. Just send me a message, let me know, and I'll make sure that Manny, I just saw that ChatGPT tells you that you're chaotic. The artist in you will say you are chaotic. And that's because that's how your art flows, right? I love your art, by the way. If you haven't seen Manny's art, go check him out. Totally different style. It was very, very unique. Nobody's going to have it except Manny. Okay, so what are we? Let me see. I'm just seeing what Donna wrote. I'm just making sure that I haven't missed any conversations. Oh my God, I know Donna, right? It was do if something hit you. Say you're driving down the road or walking through the woods. What would you do if something hit you to do a spell? I do it. I have. If I feel like doing a spell in that moment, I look around, I look to see if I have rocks, if I have sticks, what I have. And that's the chaos part of me, is that I will look to my left and right and say, okay, what do I need? What am I doing? How am I going to put this together? Okay, let's go. Open up. And then I bring my stuff out and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pick this. I'm going to pick this. Because like I said, my clients, I love my clients. But anytime I've ever done spell work for them, I've had their spells come out. I think the longest one might have taken a couple weeks. Now, I'm not sure whether or not that's the chaos part of me or whether or not that is my client trusting the process, because I get them involved too. I get my clients involved in my spell work because all I am is the facilitator. I'm the conduit. So if I'm doing a spell for somebody, I have them doing something on their end so that we can tie each other in. And I always schedule a time and place on where we're going to do it because I want to have that connection. That's the chaos in me. I come up with music, I come up with songs, I will write them out. It's just the way that I work. But not everybody is like that. And if you're new, you might be intimidated by doing that. You might think that you're doing it wrong. Or you listen to your intuition and go, oh my God, I can do this. Yeah, you can. Because it's not hard. If you can take a piece of paper and make a wish, if you can make a wish on your birthday candle, okay? Remember, our cake, when we're little, when we're growing up, is a spell. You've got a candle. We're told to make a wish. And what does a kid do? They sit there and they make their wish. And what do they usually wish for? Cake or candy or something like it, because we're little, right? Until we get older and we realize that we want money. But when we do that, that's a little witchling. And they're already putting their spell into work by wishing on their little candle. And then, depending on what it is, might come true. You know, some kids ask for, you know, a little brother or sister and, you know, like I said, candy and treats or a toy or whatever. And the parent more than likely has already heard this or known this far ahead. But that kid seeing that, knowing that they just wished on a candle and then they get the toy that they wanted. Oh, I just wish for that. I just wish for that on my candle. Boom. There you go. Chaos magic. Because they didn't think about it. Candle put in, make a wish, blow it out. All it is one little candle. And you can get those at the dollar store for very cheap. And don't think those don't work, guys. If you're looking for candles, you do not need to get the 7-day candle spells. You do not need to get, you know, the 4-hour ones. You can get the birthday candles. They work just as well. And even so, they're great when you are on a time crunch. When you have to go somewhere and you want something to happen and you know, maybe, you know, you want to hear a result from a test, or maybe it's, I just lost my train of thought. I was thinking something else. But when you're thinking of those things and then they happen, you just want to do them again. And the more practice you do, oh my God, I still remember the very first spell that I did. It was, oh my God, it was to bring love into my life. And it sounds weird, but I realize now that I just put something together. I just got a piece of paper and a pen, started writing down all the qualities that I wanted from a person. Then I put it underneath my pillow. I folded it up, put it underneath my pillow. I slept on it. Then I woke up, wrote more stuff down, slept on it again. And I did this until I felt that it was done. And then when it was done, I burnt it. Because I like doing candle magic. I don't like having anything buried. I don't like, that's not me. Can you hear my dogs? Anybody hear my dogs? But it's those things when you start seeing the results and you're like, oh my God, that was my spell. You want to do it more. You do. You want to do it more. And you want to do it more because you think that you need to. Well, maybe not necessarily think that you need to. You just want to because you've seen results and you want to see if it works again. And then you want to see if it works again, and you want to see if it works again. until you start seeing a whole bunch of results, and then you just know that you can grab anything. I think that's where the chaos part of me came from. Even though I realize now that I've been doing it for way longer than I ever thought that I would, because I started off working with angels and I thought it was more like white witch stuff, right? We always think, oh, 11 light, white witch stuff. But then you realize about all the other stuff that comes into mind and all the protection, because then you start getting your intuition starts going and you start opening up to a lot more things. And then you realize that you have to use protection. You have to bind. You have to do some of these things. Not all the time. Not all the time. I don't think I've ever bound anybody. I don't think I had to. But I have done protection. I've done a lot of protection on my, like I said, on my channel, on everything. And that's because we are so susceptible to being attacked because we are witches. We're seen as, I don't know, evil. I don't know. I don't think I'm evil. I have an evil cackle. But I don't think I'm evil. I can, if I had to. Do you hear that? That's my dogs. Give me a moment. Okay, come on. No, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. They think somebody's here. Anyways, that's probably all I have to say about the moon and how magic works with the moon. I do have the best cackle, don't I? Here's my little coachy. My little nugget. Yeah. But anyways, do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions tonight that that I haven't seen? I have one of your witch balls of protection. Yes, you do, Manny. I remember that. Let's see. Put them in a jar, stick them in the freezer. Yes, Linda, that's right. Hello, J-Star. You're just popping in and we're just about to get off. You just got in, I know. And I'm just about to finish. I was just looking at the time going, oh, I went a lot longer than I should have. I'm trying to keep it to a half an hour because I don't want to lose anybody's attention. Do we all have short attention spans? We probably do. I know I do. You'll rewatch the rest. Well, I appreciate that. But does anybody have any questions before I go? What would you guys like to see for next week? Is there anything that you'd like to see? What is on the agenda? I will say, you're so sweet, Zelda. I love you guys. I honestly do. You guys are the bomb. Most of you have been with me since day one, and I'm sure you now know how far I've come from the stage fright, because I don't feel that I have that so much anymore. So much so that I'm teaching chaos magic at the Ancaster Fairgrounds in Ontario here, for those of you who are from Ontario. I think most of you are from the States, but I'll be teaching chaos magic at the Ancaster Fairgrounds in Ancaster, Ontario. That's May 2nd, which is the Saturday. Oh, shadow work. Oh, we can definitely talk about shadow work since I just brought out my book. Good one, Manny. Yeah, good one. Yeah, because I can talk about shadow work. Let me tell you, it's not a fun subject, but it is It is something that is needed when you're doing your healing, and is actually quite important for a witch to know how to do. And it's not easy, guys. Shadow work is not easy. So we'll do that for next time. Don't worry, I can talk forever for that. Some of you guys are like, yay, and then others are like, oh, come on, Sid, get it going. Right? Change my what? Perfect time of year for it. Yes, it is, right? Which Sorsha, the vulva, I believe you have a Facebook page as well that works with the shadow work, right? Because Jessica here is studying shamanism. I know it's a hard subject, but she's doing it. And I'm so excited for her. Oh, vibrations. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. Change your. Now I understand what we're talking about. Yes, we're going to change the vibration. Yes, Ravens Hollow. If anybody wants to check out Jessica's Facebook group, it's Ravens Hollow. Anybody else has anything here that they want to post, let me know. You know what, Donna? I have come a long way, haven't I? Because you've been with me since the beginner. Like you and Amy, Tamra, Jess, my God, like Manny, like so many of you have come in, right? Like have stayed with me this whole time. So you've seen me grow, even with my aesthetics for my studio. I went from just a little concrete wall with a sign behind me to a full-on studio. You have no idea. Like I look around and go, oh my God, this is my studio now. And it's amazing. And I have a new little contraption that Phil had bought me for my, I'm going to say an early birthday present, which is a sound controller thing it's a sound mixer for YouTube, I guess. So I'm going to have to figure out how to use this so I can add little sound effects as we go. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be fun. I think it would be fun. But anyways, I think I'm going to sign off for now. I don't want to talk your ear off too much. Because you guys know I can. But this is a great space, a great way of connecting, communicating, asking any questions as we go, giving each other different perspectives, different viewpoints, and just sharing. And I love that you guys do that. And please, I love the suggestions. Let me know if you guys are not on the chat list and you want to be on the chat list. Let me know. I will add you to my Facebook group page for that. And yeah, I'll see you next week for shadow work. From my bedroom. I know, that was my first video. Oh my God. Donna, I can't believe you remember that. That's awesome. You have no idea how much that makes me feel so good. Just to know that you guys remember all of that. It blows me away. It blows me away. And last week I celebrated 2,000 subscribers. I know, I was so excited. We're now at 2,000, or now we're at 2,030 in 1 week. It has already jumped up that much, and it keeps on going. So, and it's because of you guys that I'm here. So I appreciate that. So let me know your thoughts. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Those always help me out, guys. If you have any friends that are witchy and they're looking to, join a community and feel safe, you guys are the best group of people that I could have them come into, because you're so welcoming, so kind, and so helpful to everybody that's on this page. And I'm so grateful for that. So thank you very much. I'm also going to be bringing out some short little spells. So instead of doing them on here, I'm going to just do short little spells, and I'm going to put them on my YouTube channel. So there's one coming up soon. I'm learning some new techniques. I know it feels so weird learning some new things, but you know what? This is now my full-time gig, which is my YouTube channel, and you guys made it happen. I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't watching. So thank you so much. I will see you next week. Love, so much love to you guys. Ciao for now.